it's time for us to get into the consumer tech segment. And today we're looking at tech and parenting. Very important conversations.
Yep.
We do have some vox pops, people sharing their thoughts on, tech and parenting and all of that. Let's take a look at this. When we come back, we'll get right into the conversation.
They get to use their gadgets during the weekend, so there's no screen time during the week, no TV, no tablets, nothing, unless they have assignments to do where they have computers that they carry out their assignments on. The first gadget we got was for my son at 3, when he was 3 years old. We installed apps for him to trace, for him to match objects, and very basic early years activities on the tablet.
Well, the proficiency levels for our students are quite high, so here at high school, we allow all our students from grade 7 all the way to year 11 to come to school with their computers as part of our robotics and ICT lessons. We have device usage policies for the school, so the students know these. We put safeguards on our IP, so that there's some websites we block off the internet so they don't have to get access to.
So the type of tech gadgets I own include laptops and phones, and I've had a tablet that belonged to my mother once when I was about 10. I'm usually on my Gmail, checking my mails, and on Google Chat, which is also online, and on Bracelet Book, which is like a site that I use to find bracelets to create. So I find a lot of creativity online. I use YouTube and Bracelet Book the most, I should say.
When it comes to internet usage, because it's a tool and children need it for research and learning, it is important that we let them have access to it. But then it's also important that we control sites that they can get on. First of all, our internet use providers, we blocked all the pornography sites and other sites that are not really appropriate for children below the age of 18. So that is cut off. And they are also, their phones are linked to my wife's phone, my wife's contract. So the thing is, not just the contract, but the device is linked to my wife's device. So whatever they do, even when they take pictures, my wife can't see it. And we monitor that, so that helps us to, control. When it comes to TV, we make sure that they watch TV at a certain time, screen time.
I own a laptop, a phone, and an iPad. For studying, I visit Google Classrooms where our teachers put materials on there for us to study. I use an app called iExcel to practice math, science, and English, Duolingo for learning languages, and for socials, Discord, Snapchat, and Instagram. I'm allowed to use my devices and the internet from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. on weekdays and 7 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. on weekends.
So I have WhatsApp and I have Discord, and the websites that I use are Google Classroom for school work, since we do dual learning here, and I also use presentation websites like Canva to make my presentations for class, and also Google and Britannica. Those are my trusted sources for research. And
well, I like to play games, so I have a lot of gaming apps, but I also have to study and learn, so I also use Google Classroom, the website, to submit work and get materials from the teacher. And I also use a lot of AI sites like hacker.ai to do research for my schoolwork.
All right, so there you have it. Parents, teachers, students sharing their thoughts on tech and parenting. Well, I have been joined in the studio. We've been joined in the studio by Stephen Nasebwedi. He is a marketing consultant, marketing and communications consultant, and he's going to help us, to dig further and get into this conversation. Steve, how are you doing?
Good morning, Kuku.
Super.
I'm very well,
Super
thank
to
you.
have you.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well.
Super. All right, so tech and parenting.
Yes, I like the vox pop we just watched. I mean, if you listen to the students as they were going through, there are at least 3 ways that they talked about that they use technology for their education.
Yeah.
So they're using platforms like Google Classroom. They're using AI tools to do the assignments and all of that. They also use it for social connection.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, now we've got friends all over the
WhatsApp and all
place.
that.
They are cousins, so they need to connect with them.
True.
And then they use it also for entertainment.
Yeah.
Even if it's TV at home.
Yeah.
The reality we need to accept as parents is that our kids need to use it. We can't stop them from using technology.
Right.
So the challenge is for us to find ways in which they can use it effectively. And I like what one of the teachers there, Franklin, who I know very well, how he presented it. I mean, I know him very, very well.
Right.
I mean, he's my friend. I'll just text him. So, for example, he talked about how his wife has access to their phones.
Okay.
So, with this foundation, what we need to do is understand the hazards, the challenges that children, could be faced with.
Yeah.
while they're
Facing
using-
with, yeah.
Yeah. The first one, if we talk about it, is the exposure. So the exposure to improper content online. Because they're going to be online on websites and stuff. And unfortunately, people like me run ads for our clients. So there are pop-ups that are, everywhere they go, we may be serving ads for our clients. And for some of the content that we're serving, we don't know who's using it. So we'll be showing content that they are not allowed to see. Ads and things like that. So as a parent, you need to have this conversation. In fact, the starting point is a conversation with the kids. That I'm not stopping you from using technology, but there are challenges out there. We need to agree on ways in which you can use technology effectively so you protect it.
Right.
So that's the first one. Those challenges. I think another one also is content sharing. And we need to agree on this. Kids, when they have phones and have all this, they take pictures, they do also. They capture content everywhere. And they are in a hurry sometimes to share the content.
Yeah.
Quickly. But it's not every content that you need to share. Well, it could be harmless.
Yes.
And again, in the video, they said that they were asking, they said, content that I think will benefit my friends. But it's not always that. I've had to deal with instances where in a school, a kid was being bullied. And other kids videoed it and they put it in a WhatsApp group. Harmless. In a WhatsApp group, they're all laughing at it. Before they knew it, it was online.
Yeah.
On websites and stuff.
Website.
Yeah. So sharing content like that, and even us as parents, I often say it. I would never share pictures of my children.
No.
Because you don't know.
You never know what it's out there.
Yeah.
You have to be protective of them.
Yeah, so these are mine. The other one is bullying. And it's real.
Yeah.
They get into all sorts of forums and all sorts of groups online, and there's body shaming.
That's
also
cyberbullying.
Cyberbullying online.
Yeah.
Okay, so they need to be aware also that sometimes there are unfortunately sad children out there who may target them online and want to cyberbully them. So they need to be mindful of some of these things. The last one I'll say is addiction. Because sometimes, one of them says he likes playing games and all sorts. It's not bad. Some of the games are designed to develop your, mind, intellect, and all those things. So they are good. But if you become addicted, then there's a challenge.
Yeah.
Even TV. So we're not reducing it to just phones and tablets and laptops. Even TV. So these are challenges that we need to discuss with the children that they could be exposed to. Even their emails, for example. We haven't seen too much of it here. But sometimes a teacher, because that's your email, would use it not just for coursework.
True.
But what if the teacher is a pervert?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we can't run away from
Because they
conversations like
exist.
that.
It exists.
It's real.
It
They
exists.
That is
yeah.
one of the means they sway children into diverse social vices.
Yes. The last one I'll say is also the amount of content that is shared and what kind of content. So you need to be aware of this. So if you are completing a form, for example, online, ask the parent, they're asking me these questions. Should I share them? Once we have your name, you have your email address.
That's it.
We'll talk about some of the, tips for parents. And, we'll talk about them.
Yeah, if we just wrap up with that for
Wrap
us.
up with the tips on parents.
Okay, so first one I've said is have the conversation. It's important. If the kids don't understand why you are trying to regulate or control how much technology you use, they will find ways to use it to, abuse it. And then also agree on useful apps and websites.
Okay.
So the apps that they install on their gadgets, agree that these are the apps that they need.
Yeah.
Not any app that they think their friend is also
Yeah,
using.
it's also using.
Remember, we all come from different homes.
Exactly.
We have different liberties at home.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then also use privacy settings.
Okay.
So all these gadgets have privacy settings.
Yeah.
Go to the setting, go to privacy again, so you can
can
set them limits
yeah.
what you do. Have regular check-in. But what I mean is just take their phone from them, go through the history, see what if they've deleted the browsing history.
They'll delete it.
Then you know there's something going on.
Yes.
That's it. Red flag. Yeah. But I mean, go through, and like Franklin said, if you have access to their phone, every now and then check what calls they've made, all those things, what's happening. It's important that we do that.
Okay.
And then adhere to age restrictions.
Right.
So some of them don't have them. I think one that, I mean, because we need to just wrap up, okay, review the app permissions.
Okay.
As well, okay? And avoid geotagging. This is very, very important.
Okay. As in your location.
Your location.
Yes.
Okay, because sometimes when you use one of these apps, they will ask you, we want to use your location, so we can, even Google asks you, want to know your location so we can serve you better with content. Don't do that. And on these kids' gadgets,
Super.
because these perverts, again, they will find their way to their addresses and stuff.
All right, so any more final advice for parents?
I think the advice I'll give is that have the conversation. Let the kids understand why they need these controls, why you need these controls, and it's for their benefit, it's for their good.
Yeah.
And then just, I mean, keep yourself informed. Even if you're not using, for example, Google Classroom yourself, learn how it works.
All right.
So you can help them and guide and support them.
Thank you very much. This has been good. I love it.